Welcome to our latest Find Your Feet review, where I'll be talking about the Salomon Thundercross. Essentially, this shoe sits at the technical end of the trail running spectrum, including climbing and descending over some serious vert. The shoe fits Salomon's standard foot width, which I've come to feel is a little wider in more recent times. So the fit is quite good for me, as I do like a little bit more room up front. There is a 4mm drop between the heel and the forefoot with 31mm in the heel, so it's quite a high sitting shoe, and it has a rocker shape to aid in propulsion. The midsole is ultra soft energy foam composite for a smoother feel over the longer distances. And lastly, the outer sole is an impressive and aggressive contra grip 5mm lug. This shoe has the most comfortable out-of-box feeling of any shoe I can remember. The energy foam composite and the generous padding around the heel cup and the tongue made for a plush feel, and this continued once I was running. Now on to the outer sole, and I have to say this grip is phenomenal. Hands down the best grip that I have run in for loose, rocky, muddy terrain, and I don't say that lightly. Clearly, the 3-axis shape, the position and the depth of the lug works. And on the downhills and on the muddy climbs, I had the biggest smile on my face and the greatest confidence with every foot strike. I actually ran faster on some of the downhill sections than I have in a long time, and I will admit that my ability to cannonball down a hill has dwindled a little, so this was a bit of a surprise. So from loose gravel to a steep descent to greasy mud on a climb, my foot was locked. Wet rock, washed out track, they were a breeze. If you want to enjoy moving downhill and feel safe doing so, then this contra grip is for you. The flexibility of the midsole and its softness has its pros and cons. From a positive perspective, the shoe does move well with your foot when walking or running at a slower pace. And what I mean by this is it places less restriction on your foot when rolling from a heel strike all the way and pronating through to toe off. And because of this, along with the lightness and the comfort level, the shoe works really well for those who like to move at varying pace with some walking involved. I would go as far as saying that this shoe could work really well as a hybrid hiking shoe. Now on to the upper, and this design is sick. I love the colors and how they pop. The materials are durable, but one thing to consider is the drainage. Breathability here in Tasmania is not so much of an issue because we are a cooler climate, but this also means we do have wetter grounds to run on. So if you are running through significant water, you will find this shoe holds a bit. This is due to this higher protective rim around the edge of the midsole here, where the water can only drain once it gets to the height where this mesh is. So if you are running in low-lying water, then this shoe will actually keep you dry for longer. But be prepared, if water does get in, you're going to have a heavy, sloshy foot. As mentioned, this contra grip is phenomenal. So for those of you who still wish to tackle some of Tasmania's rougher terrain in comfort and with a greater sense of safety with your climbs and descents, then this shoe's definitely for you. If you are more biased to using your muscles to generate force when you're running, then you are probably strong enough for this midsole. If, however, you tend to use more of a tensile strength with your locomotion, just be ready for your muscles to adapt to the strength endurance required to go a longer distance in this shoe. Of course, this is all my opinion, so after considering what I've said, I recommend heading in to Find Your Feet, trying them on, because there is certainly some fun to be had in these shoes, especially if you're sending it downhill.